Okay, so let's reconvene for this last part of the session, last session of this event, and we will start with the presentation from Japan, from Yuka SOGAWA. Yuka is online, I think. Yes, can you hear us, Yuka?
Yes. Everyone.
Yes, and you can hear you. So thank you very much for joining us at the end of your working day. And we will be very pleased to listen your presentation. You are Senior Deputy Director at the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism, Ministry of Japan. And you are the Director of the PLATEAU project, which is about digital twins for cities. So, floor is yours.
Thank you for the introduction. Can you see my screen?
Yes, if you can put it in presentation.
Sorry, I hear the echo.
That's okay, thank you.
So can you hear me well? It's not clear. Okay, let me start. So my name is, let me start with my brief introduction. My name is Yuka, directing Project PLATEAU, Urban Digital Twin Initiative from Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism from Japan. Nice to meet you. And so the Project PLATEAU is led by our ministry, focusing on developing, utilizing, sharing 3D city models, urban digital twin data. So the mission is to create a new value in our society and solve local issues with the digital twin. Let me show first our data. So PLATEAU View is a space web application which everyone can download the field for free. So as you might see, yeah, so that we can choose each building and get the semantic information of each building. Also, there are other city features such as road, tunnel, bridges, and so on. We also have the difference in the level of details, like LOD1 only has the height information, while LOD2 has roof information, and 3 has wall and window and other details. The difference between Google Earth and 3GML. While Google Earth only has geometry, PLATEAU data also has semantic information. The data format is 3GML. So we can use those data for urban simulation and a variety of analysis. The scope of the project is not only creating data, but also creating, fostering cooperation, and facilitating social implementation. This project is only possible the partnership between local governments, private companies, and tech communities. The data coverage of this project reaches half of the population in Japan, which is equal to 250 cities in Japan this year. So the body of data comes from the standardization of 3D city model, which means we create the standard product specification for 3D city models in Japan. Following a 3GML from OGC, we develop this document so that each local government can create a standardized data. So we do this because we want to apply the one use case to another city So if we get the good use case, other local city can follow this use case since they also have the same data format. This is kind of the modules of the PLATEAU standard. So which consists of 15 city features such as building, transportation, bridge, tunnel, city furniture, to the standardized city GML. Like there is a specific model such as urban planning area, disaster risk area, other area. This is original to my country. So this slide describes how we create PLATEAU data. Every 5 years, local governments do the urban planning basic survey, and sometimes they also do aerial survey, and they also collect the urban planning base map. We create 3D city models from those existing resources to reduce the cost of the data production. So that this is kind of the describing difference between LOD 1 to 3. After creating data, all the data is going to Geospatial Information Center, which is a website where people can download the geospatial data. PLATEAU data is one of them. And we also adopt open licenses. So moving to the cases, we have been creating over 100 use cases so far since the launch of the project in 2020. So the use case covers urban planning, disaster management, revitalization, mobility, and so on. Most popular use cases is about the urban planning and disaster management because local governments are strongly interested in those use cases. And actually, local governments are the stakeholder of data production. So that's why most of the use cases is about those fields. I'm introducing some of use cases. The first one is about disaster management. So when the river overflows, local governments want to inform about the risk of the citizens. So this map overlays the risk of the over flooding, and by overlaying the 3D city model, they can visualize the risk of the hazard. In addition, by integrating those maps with AR technology, the citizens can understand visually the risk of the flooding. They use those data for evacuation training in the community. We only need this one for this use case, which is less expensive. Most of the local governments use this case as for social implementation. Next one is about the immersive urban planning with citizens using XR technology. So local governments always make an urban development plan, but sometimes it's very hard for them to explain about their planning to the citizens. And there is sometimes a miscommunication between them. So this visualization tool is used in urban planning workshop. Citizens can join the workshop and easily imagine the future planning. This is facilitating the communication between local governments and citizens. Another use case is also focusing disaster management in area design. So every year we have a lot of earthquakes, and a large commercial facility is worried about that. By making a simulation environment through the game engine using 3D city model and BIM, we can easily understand whether the plan or evacuation plan works well or not. And the facility manager can find where is critical issues. Another one is about the environmental policy. Since the PLATEAU data has semantic information, it's very easy for local governments to calculate the future solar power potential in the city using the roof and wall and other building information. The system also simulates the reflection from solar panels, so we can consider the landscape and its effect on citizens. Another use case is also about the urban planning. Japan has a regulation on landscape. 3D city models help us to create a visual of our development and discuss it from the aspect of landscape. In this case, the advantage is that they allow us to create a multi-layered spatial representation that cannot be achieved with 2D maps. So the last case is about the tourism. Local governments often create a metaverse content to attract people from other countries and domestic citizens. But the metaverse is a powerful tool, but sometimes it's very expensive. This use case allows the local government to create the metaverse content at a low cost. Since the 3D city model can be used to create the the 3D environment. So the use cases have been I will also cover the open evaluation in our project. So the PLATEAU view is a web-based GIS, as I mentioned. View is actually a management system and editor. So all the content management system, editor, PLATEAU view, it's integrated in one single system. So once the uploading data, it's easily going to PLATEAU view web application. Data handling tool is a SDK for game engine. I cannot show you the image, but the PLATEAU SDK is an open source software developed by us as a toolkit for using PLATEAU's 3D city models within those game engines. We can easily import 3D city model data from PLATEAU with this SDK. So everyone can create game and a simulation environment using SDK. This tool is also used for as a conversion tool between CDGML and other 3D formats such as OBJ, FBX, and so on. Yeah, we also provide other toolkits like rendering sandbox and maps. There's another handling tool called PLATEAU QGIS plugin. Since the people into always use QGIS, so this plugin helps them to use the PLATEAU data in a shapefile. In addition to data handling tools, we also publish all the technical documents and project findings to the website. So the developers, company, business, and academics can explore the value of data and use those data for their tackling social challenges. We also provide the learning tool since we try to expand the community of the data. Even students recently studied a photo project and use data for their research. I think this is also, partly coming from those open innovation initiative. The tech community is growing. Every year, we run a lot of tech events, such as hackathon, hands-on events, and lightning talk and pitch events for startups. This is how we find the project companies and make collaborative projects. PLATEAU is one of the most significant events through the project year. Last year, we received 56 entries, including the applications and art pieces. The applicants include the students, high school students, academics, and companies and developers. Hope you can also join our competition in the future. So this is how our project works. Not only creating data use cases, but also we put the emphasis on and social. The goal of the project is create an ecosystem for the development, visualization, and open availability of 3D city models for more urban resilience. I think this is only possible again through the collaboration between stakeholders. Still, we have some issues. Even if we want to expand the data coverage, cost to develop and update data is a significant issue. So we are currently making an effort to reduce the cost through adopting AI technology or other techniques. We are always discussing this point with developers. And the use cases should be also expanded more, but sometimes cost budget shortage is an issue for local government, especially. So we are trying to offer more open source for them, so they can use our data for social implementation. We also try to expand the business use cases, but there is still the issue of the budget for companies. Lack of digital capability is also the critical for us to expand the data community. So growing community, a growing enlightening community is important, we think. Through this effort, we still believe that PLATEAU empowers urban resilience. This project help each city and company to develop the optimal, sustainable, human-centered, and agile city. We will continue this effort until realizing urban planning digital transformation with those stakeholders, experts, and the community people. Yeah. Hope I can update about the project soon. So I'm finishing my presentation with a small introduction of this September. If you happen to stay in Japan this September, we will do the 3D Geo Info and Smart Date Smart City Conference in the suburb of Tokyo. Let me know if you drop by. I can guide you around. Yeah, that's it. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much, Yuka, for this presentation of this impressive ecosystem. Do we have questions in the room or online? Peter, you are still there. If you can introduce yourself, because...
Martin Peersman from the Netherlands. Thank you, Yuka, for the nice presentation. How do you incorporate the subservice in your models? Because I can imagine in Japan you have a lot of earthquakes and other kind of landslides and other risks.
Is your question about the subsurface, did you say?
Subsurface.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The platform will also include underground data. Those data is also contributing to the mitigation of earthquakes. And disaster risk data is very crucial to respond to the earthquakes and flooding and other natural disasters. So the data is almost all the data is used to simulate and predict the effect of earthquakes before it happens. Am I answering questions?
These are the constructions made by humans. But I meant the geological models, the groundwater models, or your mineral resources models.
Could you repeat, sorry?
These are constructions made by humans, anthropogene. But do you have the geological models? What is from nature in this subsurface? Like voxel models or fluid flow models for groundwater? Or?
We only have all of the reef data. Those are what you're pointing out. Most of the data are created by human in our project PLATEAU model.
Yes. Another question in the room?
Thank you for this presentation. Arigato gozaimasu. So my question is about, you present mainly 3D model, so it is a static information. Can you put some metadata like dynamic data, and what is the frequency of acquisition?
Thank you. So PLATEAU data doesn't cover like 4D data, changing data, but we can build a system using real-time data, for example, and other data formats. We can predict like a human flow using smartphone data. We put those we put the data into the 3D space and can predict the effect of events, for example, and earthquakes as well.
Thank you. No other question?
I have a question.
Yes, Peter.
Thanks, Yuka, for your presentation. This is Peter from the Federal Agency of Cartography and Geodesy in Germany. As you mentioned, you are following an open data strategy, and I have a question, as we are also discussing this topic very, very critically. Do you have any safety regulations regarding your open data strategy? So do you have any regulations regarding critical resolutions or something? Because in Germany, this is something we discuss very heavily at this time.
Thank you so much. So basically, we adopt the open licenses policy. So all the data can be published, but we regulate data creation for certain areas such as defense facilities and public national government facilities and so on. We prohibit making the data of those fields. And we are also strict to the data in indoor space, including underground. So even if there is a demand to publish the data, we don't basically open those data since the company doesn't want to. So yeah, we still have open data. We still have open data discussion.
Thanks.
Any other comment or discussion? If not, thank you again, Yuka, for this presentation, and feel free to stay with us for the last presentation. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.